Good afternoon and welcome to Expert Advice with Carol Anstey, otherwise known as the ReMax Realty Check, each and every Sunday here on CFCB from 12:30 to 12:45. And I'm here with Miss Carol Anstey. How are you doing today, Carol?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. And yes, the topic of today's show is why ReMax. So maybe you can elaborate a little bit on why people should choose ReMax.
Well, from a selling perspective, ReMax would be the obvious choice. And that would be for a number of reasons. First, and probably the most significant, is that we are a global real estate brand, and that serves us in a couple of ways. One is brand recognition. So when you have somebody coming into the country from another country, they automatically identify with the ReMax brand. So that instills consumer confidence. But from a buying perspective, typically we hold the largest market share in the areas in which we operate. So when you choose a ReMax agent to assist you in buying a home, you can be assured that they are one of the agents doing the most business in your area, and therefore, because they do the most business, they have the most wealth of information.
Yes, I would imagine that the people who are doing obviously doing the most business in that area are going to have the most knowledge of everything, and I guess that's very important. And when you're buying a house, you want to know everything about the neighborhood, everything about about the house and stuff like that as well, eh?
Absolutely, and not only that, when a certain company has the largest volume of market share, typically, they have the confidence of the seller, so you can be assured that they got the best advice when those properties were listed. And the other thing is, if you're selling a home, you would certainly want to choose ReMax from the global perspective because of the exposure that gives you. So when you list a property through ReMax, it goes on our Canadian site, but it also gets listed internationally. And, that might not always seem so important because you think, well, we're in little Newfoundland, but, we do have some vacation properties. We have high-end properties, and those properties will oftentimes appeal to people who are moving here globally. And so I think it certainly serves especially that market of people and that market of properties. So I think it's something that people should really understand and know about our ReMax. The other thing is our ReMax agents also have access to world-class educational systems. And so those educational programs are specific to our company, and they excel in the areas of customer service and negotiation as well as professionalism because of those educational programs in place, because the brand is so focused on those elements in our business. So that's something else that people should really know.
So speaking of worldwide, so what exactly are we talking about here? Like how, where in the world are people able to see these listings? Is it United States, Europe?
Absolutely. We are fully global in whatever areas that basically there's real estate. I mean, ReMax doesn't exist in areas where there's probably not a lot of real estate for sale.
Exactly.
But places like Venezuela, the Bahamas, I mean, all of these places all have ReMax franchises in them.
Oh, wow.
So, somebody from those countries coming in will notice the brand, but also our properties will essentially be advertised in those areas as well. Also, there was an independent organization outside of ReMax that identified the top 250 brokerages in Canada. And of those 250 top brokerages, 159 of those were ReMax brokerages.
Wow.
And that's significant to any of our other competitors. So, I mean, that's also quite important and quite valuable information. So the brand itself really pours into its brokers as well as its sales agent to make sure that we're at the leading edge of our industry.
Anything else you'd like to tell us about ReMax, Carol?
Well, ReMax sells more homes in Canada than any other company. If you're looking for exposure, again, we have the largest market presence. Also, the franchise invests the most into local and national advertising. We attract the heaviest web traffic of any brand. And also with a global brand, we have agent-to-agent referrals across the world. And also, because of our strong worldwide presence, buyers coming into Canada choose ReMax more than any other brand.
Oh, I see. Now, I know you guys have a lot of, great staff, great personnel down there at ReMax. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the agents and stuff that you guys have down there.
Yeah, well, our brokerage encompasses the areas of the offices, of Deer Lake, Corner Brook, Stephenville, and Happy Valley Goose Bay. And within that, we have about 20 agents. Now, each of the offices run independently of each other. And one important thing that you really need to know about all ReMax transactions is every time there is a closing that is a ReMax closing, there is an amount of money that goes to the Canadian Breast Cancer Association as well as to the Janeway. So that's something that we just do. But in addition to that, all of our offices are very much rooted into the communities that they serve. In Deer Lake in particular, we have been a part of Dreams Take Flight, which is an organization that sends deserving children to Florida for a day. That's very exciting, local, which we love. We also take a huge role in the Santa Stroll every year, and the Santa Stroll is actually put off by the Salvation Army Church, and they assist families during Christmas time. We were also a huge part of an organization called Labor of Love, which also did an interview on us a few months back. But Labor of Love is a charity who supports missions organizations in Thailand. So we also have a global connection to those people. And basically what Labor of Love did was raise money to help with the human trafficking concerns over there, as well as sponsoring a orphanage that helps with children HIV infected as well as their families. Many of the Corner Brook agents are involved in different charitable organizations. Dave and Sandra Elms, for instance, play a huge role in the Winter Carnival. Another one of our agents, Pat Higgins, he's also on the board for the Corner Brook Rotary Club. We're also putting a team in this year for the Relay for Life. We're also doing some fundraising in addition to what we already contribute to the Janeway. We're going to do a couple of independent fundraisers for the Janeway Telethon. We're also rolling out a program called Pay It Forward, and I don't really want to give you all the particulars on it, but needless to say, that will also bring some more awareness to the charities that we support. Also, our Stephenville office has an agent out there. She's heavily involved in the Scouts. And you'll also notice whenever you go to any of the local arenas, you will always see ReMax signs. And that is because we believe in giving back to the communities that serve us. That is a part of our mandate, and that is a part of our mission and our vision for our company. And so it is very important to us that we are contributing to the community as well professionally, but also in a way that we can give back. And so I think it's important that people know that when they support our offices, that we are also giving back to the people around us.
Yes, very good, of course, to give back to the community. And working here at the station, of course, during the Winter Carnival, we know that you guys were very involved in the Winter Carnival. I do believe, was Dave the mascot?
Yes, he has been for quite a number of years.
It's Leaf the Lucky, I believe.
Leaf the Lucky, that's right.
Yes, he does a great job there.
He does.
But as well, now as far as a career in real estate, that's what we'll go into next. A career in real estate. Why should people choose a career in real estate?
Well, a career in real estate is very, very exciting. I mean, I know first initially starting out, sometimes it can be a little bit rough. It's a little bit scary. But, that's true of anybody who decides to take the plunge into being an entrepreneur. It's no different in real estate. Essentially, you are an entrepreneur. But the exciting thing about real estate is the diverse group of people that you get to meet in and amongst your interactions with people. And if you're somebody, I have always been the type of person, I like to be doing something different. I've never been the type of person that wants to sit at a desk and roll out and do the same things day in and day out. Real estate is so exciting because it's always a new challenge. Whether it's a commercial property that you're dealing with one day, or it's a residential property and you're dealing with a high-end property, you're helping somebody to move. You're helping somebody to find their dream home. Maybe they're living in a smaller property and now they want to move into a bigger property. I mean, lots of times the majority of our business is repeat business. So you may start out with a family that's purchased their very first home and you've watched them go through all of the different stages. They sell that house, they move into something else. Then you're finding their kids a property down the road. You get to meet their relative. I mean, you really start to become a part of the network of people that these people know. And so it starts to become more than just a job for us. We start to really get involved in the different major changes in people's lives, and we develop those relationships. And that's all an exciting part of what we do. And even though sometimes I know in my career, I've had many situations where I've had former clients call me up looking for advice on this, looking for advice on that. And it hasn't always directly led to necessarily a transaction, but you're always in contact with these people. They're the people you see at the grocery store, and you just really become connected to your community. So you almost feel as if you're playing a bigger role than just essentially buying and selling in this industry. You really are a part of the community. And I think that's something that's very satisfying as a career.
And yes, that kind of leads us back to our show last week, and you get that personal touch with a real estate agent. So that's very important, I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the other thing is we know a lot about all of the different services around our area because we're so closely connected with our communities, because we're involved in our charities, and because we're going through these different life stages with people. We have inside knowledge about things that other people or other areas in our industry, for instance, with private sales, it's just not the same. It's not the same connection. It's not the same relationship. When somebody just comes and puts a sign in your yard, it's much different than when you're walking them through a transaction and they're calling you and they're saying, oh, I don't know, I'm a first-time home buyer. I don't know if I want to invest. You know, am I making a mistake here? Is this property going to be hard to sell? What type of property should I buy? Where should I live? I mean, you really start to get involved in these people's lives and helping them through these scary stages.
For sure. And ReMax agents, now they have access to some world-class career development programs, I'm assuming?
Yes, absolutely. And they are exclusive to our company. And ReMax does pour in a lot of money to their technology training as well as their different programs that they put off every year. I went to an Atlantic Kickstart convention in Toronto this year, and there was, you know, about 20,000 realtors there from all across the country. And I mean, it's an amazing event. I went there one year and they had the wealthy barber there, Chilton, come and speak. They've had the CEO from Disney there.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, they really go all out to really instill some great ideas into the minds of the realtors.
So, Carol, how would a person who's listening to this show today, if they decide they want to become a real estate agent, how do you exactly go about doing that? What's the first step there?
Well, when I got my license, which was about 5 years ago, they did have one form of an education program, and you would contact the Newfoundland and Labrador Association of Realtors, and they would send you out the information. You'd read through the information, and then when it was time to write your exam, you'd contact them. And basically, the process is the same. But about a couple of years ago, they recognized that the material was getting a little bit outdated, and so they rolled out a new education program. And that education program is phenomenal. I've read some of the material. When I got my license, I had a career already as a paralegal, so I had a lot of legal knowledge and background. But the information wasn't very concise. It was difficult to get through, and I think probably people going through that for the first time are pretty intimidated. The material is much more abundant. So when you order your material, you get these huge 2 or 3 huge books come, and there's a lot of information, but it's great information. It's laid out really well. It's much easier to get through, and also it much better prepares you for when you're finished. So what you would do is you'd contact the Real Estate Association, which their office is in St. George. You'd have your material come. When you felt you were ready to write the exam, you'd contact them again. You'd set up a time to write your exam, and then you'd go in and you'd write your real estate license. Now, as a salesperson, you have to operate under a brokerage. So in that amount of time that you were studying, you would also go around and decide what company you would want to work for. But of course, you would choose ReMax.
For sure, yes. As you guys are the biggest worldwide company?
Absolutely,
Would you say? Yes, biggest
yes.
worldwide company.
Most definitely.
So we're just about out of time here, Carol, for today. It has been a pleasure as always, and I hope everybody
you.
out there knows why you should choose ReMax. And any closing words for this show, Carol?
No, one last thing that I would like to say is that it's coming up to be the time of year when real estate is really going to start moving again. And if there's anybody out there that's thinking that this might be the time that they'd like to put their property on the market, now is the time to call one of our agents.
And there we go. So you guys out there, you've been listening to the ReMax Realty Check Expert Advice with Carol Anstey. And once again, a quick reminder that we'll be doing this each and every Sunday from 12:30 to 12:45 right here and only on CFCB.